We have an NHL trade to discuss today, and that's between the Edmonton Oilers and the Ottawa Senators. We'll go over the details and give you my thoughts coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, we do have a trade to talk about here between the Edmonton Oilers and the Ottawa Senators. Now, in previous days here, we've discussed both these teams in some NHL trade rumors, and I did suspect that these two teams very well could hook up for a trade, but this wasn't quite the trade that I was expecting. Ottawa has sent defenseman Chris Wideman over to the Oilers in exchange for a 6th-round draft pick. Now, I do think Wideman will be a good fit with the Oilers. He is a pretty decent puck-moving defenseman, and the Oilers are certainly in need of that type of player. Obviously, he's a right shot as well, which is something that comes at a premium at the NHL level, so that's certainly going to come in handy too. He certainly will help the Edmonton power play, and hopefully under new head coach Ken Hitchcock, he'll be somebody that they can put to good use here in helping that team move forward. During Wideman's time with Ottawa, he certainly for the most part was a third-pairing guy. He was a 4th-round pick back in 2009, made his way to the NHL after playing, I believe it was 3 college seasons in Miami. Played a couple seasons in the American Hockey League, really developed. Chris Wideman, even though he's smaller, is pretty mobile though, and certainly earned his shot at the NHL, but has never really had more than a 1 or 2 year contract. During his time, always constantly reproving himself. When he has been with the Sens, for the most part, he's been a third-pair guy, or oftentimes too, where Guy Boucher likes to play 7D quite often. Sometimes he's a 7th defenseman and gets more of a power play time. Now, of course, as a lot of you probably remember, not that long ago, we had a Senators fiasco with the Uber incident, we'll call it. And of course, Chris Wideman was sitting in the front seat of that Uber and was really front and center with that situation. So I can't help but wonder if this might have played a role in him getting shipped out of town. Although it's not a complete shocker here that he ended up being traded anyway, he's a player that I fully suspected that the Sens might try to move sometime before the trade deadline. I honestly thought that they might hang on to him a little bit longer, and I'm a little bit underwhelmed on a return to get a 6th-round pick. I mean, he's a 4th-round pick himself. Back in 2009, kind of earned himself a pretty decent NHL reputation, so I thought they might get at least a higher round pick, maybe even a 3rd or 4th round, something a little bit better. But obviously, this tells me that they might have been a little anxious to unload him, and Edmonton took advantage of that. Not that he's going to demand a high return by any means, but I thought it might be a little better than a 6th-round pick. I thought, though, personally, that he might be a guy that hangs around till closer to the trade deadline with all the defensemen they have, and they have a lot of younger guys kind of developing and earning some ice time. I thought that there was a very good chance that maybe by the deadline, he very well might get moved out because they likely weren't re-signing him for next season. But I guess they've jumped the gun here. Like I said, I can't help but wonder if that Uber incident might have played a role, because really out of everybody in that car, Duchesne and Wideman were the 2 most vocal, and maybe Wideman's kind of taken to be the fall guy here. So hard to say, but either way, let me know what your thoughts are on this trade. Do you think the Uber incident had any bearing in the Senators deciding to move him out of town? So as always, love to hear your thoughts and comments down below on this trade. Do you think the Uber incident had anything to do with Wideman being moved? Do you think he'll be a good fit in Edmonton? Hopefully he'll be a good help for that power play, and hopefully have some good success here moving forward. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams. There's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.